Hey everyone, this is going to be a chatting video. It's reasonably late right now, it's about 11 o'clock, so I am going to try and keep my voice down a little bit just because people are trying to go to sleep. But as you might have seen in the video before, I was going to try and film this in like a park kind of near my house, but then I thought the park's actually about 45 minutes away. It's very cold and I am not very brave at speaking in public or filming in public, so I would have just spent the whole video kind of talking like this, and then what is the point of me filming a video if I'm not even going to say the things that I want to say. I've got a free night tonight. It's currently Halloween, but I went out last weekend, so I have a free evening, so I thought I would just film this. It's very cozy. I don't know if you can see, I've got like my little wax burner and then I've got a candle next to me as well, plus I changed my bedding, so I'm in a very good chatty chill mood, and I thought I would answer some questions. I have them written down even if you can't see, and I would hope that this video does decently okay and people enjoy it. If they do, I'll do these like every couple months, I think, just to get some questions out there and answered, because lots of people will DM me questions and I think putting them in a video like this is much better. It's kind of like having my own little podcast, which is very cool. Also some little Starface stickers to just set the mood. Okay, enough waffle, let's actually get into this. I've got like 50 different layers going on here. I've got my dressing gown and then I've got my like trouser things. Anyway, enough said. Okay, first question. What are your professional goals? I don't know. If I'm being completely honest, I currently study criminology, or psychology with criminology. I took it at uni because I took psychology in A-level and I really enjoyed it, and then I had never done psychology before and I thought, well, it's a weird subject, so I'll give it a go. I do like it, but it's very difficult at times. I also really love painting and art and anything like graphic design related, editing, filming. I used to want to be a film director so badly. So part of me doesn't want to lose that. And then I would also kill to own a cafe and also run my own business. So if I'm being totally honest, I don't really know. In my head, I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to own a cafe. At the same time, I'm going to do art on the side and sell it. I'm also going to be like a detective, and then I'm also going to make videos, which you see me in a few years time on like the, what's the word? Blue Peter or something. Then you'll know why. But in all seriousness, I've applied for a couple like detective pathways, but they haven't come up yet. Different roles, but I just hope that I'm meant to have, I will just like fall into the job rather than forcefully put myself in there. I honestly don't really know, but I'm hoping to go traveling sometime in my 20s with my boyfriend, maybe for like a year or two. So I might be able to just kind of discover things then. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right, I feel a bit far away from the camera. Next question, can you do your makeup routine? I actually have a few videos of this, I think, up on my YouTube and a bit on my TikTok. Although I don't really film my makeup routine anymore at the moment because my lighting is so terrible. So when I go home in a couple of weeks, I will film it then. If not, maybe some of my old TikToks, I think. Other than that, that's all I can really say. Any body image advice? Okay, this is a big one. I've actually had quite a few people message me about this. I almost feel quite flattered that you guys think I'm, oh my god, I can't even speak. I'm a good enough advice giver to talk about this subject. Body image is obviously just like something that pretty much everyone will struggle with at some point. I know I do. I did find staying off social media or limiting myself to lower amounts of social media really did help. Not completely cutting it off, because you shouldn't feel like it's a punishment to not have social media because you feel negative about your body. You shouldn't punish yourself for that. Otherwise, all that's going to happen is you're going to have negative associations about your body and social media. Whereas you should try and aim through just having time off social media, if that makes any sense. So what I would do is, if I saw like loads of really pretty people or really skinny people on TikTok, I would just come off TikTok and go on Pinterest, or come off TikTok and watch some TV. So it would still feel like I'm doing something enjoyable, but it just wouldn't be the things that made me feel rubbish, if that made sense. I also did start going to the gym. I do still go to the gym and I am seeing a little bit of progress, which is nice. I'm also trying to eat a lot healthier. So, but honestly, gym memberships are a lot of money, and I honestly think that can actually make your body image a lot worse. I know when I go home sometimes, because I don't have access to the gym, I do panic a little bit that any progress is going to go down or I'm going to gain weight or anything like that. And you have to be careful that you don't get into this cycle. Taking some time off of social media in that aspect. I also think getting used to what your body looks like can really make a big difference. So I used to be very self-conscious of my thighs. When I went swimming, I would stand with my hands over them. For no particular reason, they just weren't dead skinny. So when I was home alone in the house, I would walk around with shorts or just very, very short dresses, just to almost get used to seeing what they would look like. Although I was still self-conscious, it really did help build up the confidence of like just what you look like yourself, because if you're self-conscious about something, you're obviously not going to look at it for very long. And as for body image on your face, I don't know if that would count as like body image, but I'm going to put it in the same category anyway. Not wearing makeup really does help, but obviously don't feel like not wearing makeup outside, because I do appreciate that that's a very scary thing. I try not to wear makeup inside anymore so that I get used to what I look like. Again, it's like a long process, but all of those things really do help. And to be honest, as cliche as it sounds, there is nothing to actually be insecure about, because if you look at someone, you can never guess their insecurity. Obviously, it's just one of those things that's very important to build. But look after yourself, and it's very cringe, but read all the like positive hope core TikTok stuff, because sometimes they do actually help. But I do want people to know that whatever you look like, whatever you feel like, you're obviously, this is so cringe, I'm not very good at saying stuff like this, obviously perfect in your own way. I've just like suddenly hit me that I'm talking to a camera. So staying motivated, how to stay motivated. Oh my god, okay, this is where it's one of two ways things for me. So as you all know, I am a queen of studying, queen of loving studying, queen of trying to stay motivated. And whilst yes, I would say I am motivated quite a lot of the time. Right now, ever since the clocks have gone back, ever since it started getting dark at like 5:30, earlier than that actually, but I think about 4:30, I have had zero motivation. That could partly be because it's currently reading week at my uni, so I don't really have a schedule, which I think really makes a big difference for me. Staying motivated is really weather dependent, really mood dependent for me. I know it sounds very cliche, but getting up at the same time every single day, it doesn't matter if it's early, if you're a late worker, work late, just work when you best can. I used to stay up for hours at night, but the most important thing is get up at the same time each day. You'll have a system, you'll have a routine, you'll expect everything, and it won't feel like such a shock when you get up at a different time. Having constant breaks, obviously that's really important. Really do reward yourself after something. I feel like that's a really big thing that I never used to do. So now when I've done a really big study session, I will get a coffee, or I will get some flowers or a sweet treat or anything, literally anything, just to make me go, oh okay, I feel like I've deserved this. Because if you go home and then you feel shit, and then you have a really crap dinner or you have a really crap sleep, you're then just gonna think, I don't like studying, I don't like doing this because this happened, and it all just kind of like links back. But I also think it's important to admit to yourself if you are feeling unmotivated. Like, don't try and pretend like you're more motivated than you are, pretend like it's not a big deal, because I've been doing that and it doesn't solve anything. Really, the best thing to do is to say, look, I'm really unmotivated, I'm gonna have today off because I'm not gonna get any work done. And then just say, yeah, you know, when I next feel motivated, I'll work double as hard just to get double the amount done. Okay, next one. I'm trying to read what my own handwriting says. Okay, someone said, what is your favorite book? If it's scientific, I absolutely love The Cartel. I can't remember who any of the authors of these books are, but I'm gonna put the cover right here so that you can just screenshot it. It's basically about a cartel, an Irish one, in 2016. It's really interesting and it is actually real. And then I guess this is kind of fiction and non-fiction because it's a story, but it's about a real person. It's Beautiful Boy or Tweak. Both of them are actually by Nick Sheff and David Sheff. I'm sure you will have heard of the film. The books are incredible, but obviously really sad. As for that, and then probably Perks of Being a Wallflower, although it's been a very long time since I read that, so I may have to give that another go. Okay, the next question says, what to do when you feel like you're in a mental slump? I have actually had this for the last 2 weeks, so this is very good timing. Honestly, I have just been going to bed, sitting in my room. It gets dark and then I go to sleep. So I've tried to do a lot of self-care. I do always think that's a really good one because in my personal opinion, if you feel crap on the inside, that's something that takes a bit of time to work through. But if you feel crap on the outside, you can solve that. You can have a shower, you can do a face mask, you can have some green tea and do lots of nice things. You would rather only feel crap in one scenario than both. So look after yourself on the outside, go on a walk, spend some time with people, although I actually much prefer alone time. When I'm in a bit of a mental slump, I get very non-verbal and I don't want to socialise. So I just make a long list of films I want to watch, TV programmes, and I just work my way through. I just sit in my room. I go and speak to people when I feel like it rather than when other people expect me to. I am probably the worst person to ask about this because I don't go home, I don't get homesick, and I don't feel like home would make me feel better for the mental slump. But if you are someone that gets homesick, then obviously call home, give them a video call, anything of the sorts, and do things that you really enjoy. Like take yourself out on a day, like to a coffee shop or to a restaurant or to a bookshop or anywhere where you enjoy. Mental slumps are very hard, I think. Like there's not one specific thing that you can do to get out of a mental slump. It's just things that you personally enjoy, and I think honestly just prioritize your own health with it, because everything else that needs to get done when you're in a mental slump is not going to get done anywhere near as good as you think it might do. So you would rather prioritize your health and get out of the slump much quicker than stay in it longer and do not as good work or whatever you need to be doing. Oh my god, I think I must be like allergic to these candles because I cannot stop sneezing. I have to keep pausing this video. Okay, someone said, what aesthetic are you? This is such a strange question for me. Very cool, but strange. If you followed me before I went to uni, then you would have seen that my aesthetic, I don't really like saying that because I feel like it's a very enclosed title, but you would see that my aesthetic was like just pink, just flowers, very cottagecore-y, which I guess I was. But I never really felt like I could fully be myself before coming to uni. Partly because I was always known as just being someone that was like cottagecore-y, never swore, never drank, never did anything. So I didn't know how to just switch up. Otherwise everyone would go, oh my god, Menna does this, Menna does that. But when I came to uni, I was like, none of these people here know who I am. I can just be who I want to be. So I kind of merged that aesthetic with, you know, like nightlife, clubbing. I listen to a lot of rap music. That's always been the case, but like actively showing that I listen to a lot of rap music. Baggier clothes, more vintage stuff, but I still like all the lace things and the flowers. So I really am just a bit of a mixture, to be honest. I used to get really insecure about it, and I still do a bit. I lost about 20,000 followers on Instagram ever since I started posting it, and people would comment like, oh, I don't like your new aesthetic, I don't like who you are, I don't like how you look now. So it did make me quite sad, because I was like, I don't really know who I am, to be honest. And if I find a social media influencer or someone that I see that has a cool aesthetic, I have a very bad habit of going, oh my god, I want to be like them, and then changing my whole Instagram to look like it. And then like 3 days later I'll look at it and be like, this isn't me, like this isn't who I am. I've just done this because I want that aesthetic, and I've done that for years. So I'm like, not to be deep, but like, who actually am I? But I think I'm just figuring it out. I know what I like, and it's just sort of merging together, and technically I don't need a name for it. It can just be my aesthetic. But if you are interested, I will put the link to my Pinterest in the description, and you can go and check out all my pins, because I feel like they give a very good description of like what kind of person I am. They've got everything in there. But that was a very cool question, and someone did actually message me that on Instagram, and they were like, I love how you have both aesthetics. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, there's only a few more questions here. Quite a few of them were personal questions that I could just DM the person that asked them on Instagram, like, oh, how do you spice up an outfit? I figured I would just like tell the individual person that asked it. Okay, so the next question says A-level tips. Very long time since I did A-levels. Really like 4 years now, and I technically didn't, I know I did sit them. I sat them, but I did all of my learning online because of COVID. So I feel like this is a bit different. I literally loved A-levels. I would take years off my life just to go back and sit them, but I would say that I didn't revise very effectively. I didn't know how to revise. All of my old A-level like revision videos, if they're still up, don't watch them, because they probably didn't work. Go and look at the ones I did in uni, how to study there. They are so much better. I don't know what they say about studying time in A-levels, but they probably tell you more than you need to be doing. I don't know what that noise is. And I think people also forget that A-levels are only important if you want to go to uni. Like once you've gone to uni and you have a degree, no one really cares about your A-level degrees. Okay, my neighbours are very loud. Yeah, the only thing that they really care about once you've graduated would be like English and maths degree in A-levels. And even then you just need like a 4, like a pass. But honestly, don't put too much pressure on yourself at A-levels. They are really hard. I think they're harder than people let on. That's all I can really say. I'm so sorry, it's been so long since I did them, and I kind of didn't really get the full experience of A-levels. But yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself, and train your brain how your brain likes to be worked. There's only one more question left, and it says, what is your experience as a student in Nottingham? As you all know, I could talk about this forever. I'm talking like literally forever. I wouldn't change a thing. I genuinely wouldn't. It's been the most incredible experience of my whole life. I get emotional just thinking about it. I met some amazing people, some great friends, and first year was just incredible. If you're going into first year, enjoy it because it just literally goes in a flash, especially second year too. I feel like you get to third year and you're like, where's everything gone? Like, what the hell? The city itself is very strange, I must admit. It was a weird city when I got here. Like, think of all of the weird New York City videos that you see on TikTok or Instagram or wherever and put that in a city here. It's probably Nottingham. But I must admit, since 3 years ago, the homeless community has got so much bigger. The city's kind of lost like its spark like it used to, which is probably why I don't go out nearly as much, other than the fact I have like so much work to do. But it's just, I won't miss the city when I'm gone, but I will miss the people and living here. Yeah, the city itself has loads of good bars, loads of good clubs, loads of nice places. I wish it was slightly more kind of out of the way, like nature wise, but I'm in a city centre, like realistically there's gonna be way less nature. I love it how it went. I love the way it was. I need to be very careful with this top. This is like a very old Brandy Melville one and I've worn it so much that it's just stretched, but I'm leaning right on the edge of my bed and I've got to be very careful. I'm gonna have to rewatch all the videos back. Yeah, just very weird. I need to see how much I actually like this video. I'm a very big perfectionist and I have pages and pages on Pinterest of YouTube videos that I really want to do and thumbnail ideas, and just I have so many ideas in my head, but my camera's so crap, like genuinely. Like right now this would be a much prettier video if my camera picked up on everything, or if I wasn't so awkward on camera, or if I didn't sound like a posh twat because of my accent. So I really hope that when I get a new camera my love for vlogging and filming comes back. I kind of am starting to like it a bit more now. I'm doing a lot of like hand movements. Well, that's everything on here. That's all the questions I've answered. I really hope that was actually helpful and I responded to all the ones that you guys wanted me to. I will hopefully do another one of these like in a couple months of time, in a couple months or two. But if you have any more questions, just DM me on Instagram and I will hopefully see you guys soon because I'm filming a new vlog for uni.